What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another tactics test, and today we're going rock and roll. We're going rock and roll football with Jurgen Klopp's 4-2-3-1. Let's see if we can recreate those heavy Liverpool days, those days that lasted about 3 seasons, and try to get some success with this tactic. So, how does it line up? Well, in goal, we have a sweeper keeper with marked for support, but no additional instructions. At fullbacks, we are both sent to fullback and attack. They are both going to have more on the right, it's more direct passes and aim crosses to the centre. You think your right back for Liverpool is Trent Alexander-Arnold, and on the left, it's just aiming for centre. So we're not telling them to play direct passes. Again, think Liverpool, Andy Robertson range of passing is not quite as good as Trent's. In the middle, on the right-hand side, we have a central defender set to defend with no additional instructions, and next to him, the ball-playing defender. So that is your Virgil van Dijk type of player right here. In the centre of midfield, we've got a ball-winning midfielder set to defend with, again, no additional instructions. These are very cookie-cutter and straight out of the box, almost like we don't want to give the players too much information and overload them. Next to him is a box-to-box midfielder. So you've got your Fabinho kind of player in the ball-winning, and then your Jordan Henderson here. Obviously, I'm relating this to Liverpool with it being a Klopp tactic. And then we have the front four. Now, the front four is, or has been, massively key for Liverpool, at least the front three has, for a number of seasons. Obviously, this is a change, and this is based on 2023's Jurgen Klopp. Remember, normally we would have this holding midfielder, but we don't have that anymore. So something had to change with Liverpool. Let's have a look at the front four, though. On the right-hand side, an inverted winger set to attack. Again, they're going to be crossing the ball with aiming it towards the centre. We then have an attacking midfielder who's going to take more risks and move into the channels while also trying to beat his man with the ball. And on the left, an inverted winger set to attack, also aiming those crosses to the centre of the box, probably the penalty spot area. And up front, an advanced attacker who's going to dribble more, shoot more often. They're going to try and beat that offside line and get in behind the back four. Now, mentality-wise, we're set to positive. In possession, we're going to pass the ball into space, so we're going to be looking to play for runs. We're not going to be playing it to feet and try and slow it down. We're going to be playing at a really high tempo. Remember, rock and roll football. That's what Jurgen Klopp has coined over the last 20 years in management, time at Dortmund, time at Liverpool. So this is what we're trying to replicate. We're going to play out of defence and focus the play down the wings, using those fullbacks to really get forward, and we are going to let them run at the defence. When we lose the ball in transition, we're going to counter-press, and as soon as we win it, we're going to jump onto the counter-attack and try and get the ball forward as quickly as we can, and we're going to distribute the ball quickly to the fullbacks and centre-backs. So again, we're going to try and play at that fast pace. Out of possession, then, it's a high defensive line, and we're going to prevent that short goalkeeper distribution. Now, with the high defensive line, again, there has been a change in Liverpool's approach to defence, and they do play that high line looking to catch people offside. So expect, if a team plays direct football against you with this tactic, you're going to probably concede a large number of chances if their striker can repeatedly beat your offside line. So be aware that in-game, you might just need to drop this back a little bit. But you could drop it to a standard and leave the front four on a high and just have that back unit. But again, for this tactic, we don't change anything. We do it as it comes out of the box. Now, as always, let me run you through how we do this. We do 3 seasons: Arsenal, AC Milan, Borussia Dortmund, and we simulate the seasons and leave our assistant manager in charge. And the only thing we tell them is that they have to use our tactic. That is it. If we get sacked, the season ends there and there. As you saw in the last episode, we didn't make it past February with any of the 3 teams. Now, we put the totals into a league, and at the end of the lifespan of Football Manager 2023, we'll be announcing who created the best tactic that we tested, or I tested, on this channel anyway. So, yeah, that is how it works. Now, let's see how we got on with Arsenal and see if we can complete the season and see if we can break into that top 4. All right, then, so the first simulation is done, and the reason it's finished a little bit early is because we have been sacked as Arsenal manager. So let's have a look at what happened, and then I've got a standout game of the season to bring you. So we were sat in 8th place, 15 wins, 9 draws, 10 defeats, and 54 points. So inconsistent. So inconsistent. This tactic scores you loads of goals. I mean, look at that. Jesus, 32 goals. Saka, 15. Martinelli, 21. Odegaard's got 22 goals from midfield, which is just phenomenal. And then if we look at the goalkeeping situation, that is where our issue is. Aaron Ramsdale, 47 goals conceded in the league. He's actually conceded 75 goals over the course of the season. And this is the game that I wanted to bring you, which stands out at just how inconsistent this tactic is. Yes, it's the game against Manchester City. Ridiculous to think that we scored 4 goals from just 12 shots, but we let them have double the amount of shots, and lo and behold, they scored double the amount of goals. A hat-trick from Erling Haaland was obviously the key standout performance, but we did try, our attacking play was really good. You can see the passing that the play allows us to do. Fabio Vieira playing in Martinelli to equalise for us. And the goals just flowed throughout the entire game. It's one of those games that I would normally blame being FM'd on, but I genuinely think the Arsenal team is just not good enough to cope with City if you're going to play a free-flowing attacking football. But as we've just seen with Haaland's second goal there, the defence is so poor. Phil Foden bringing the ball down in the box here and being able to get away from the defender and just roll it into the bottom corner. This is an issue with this tactic, I think. It might just be an issue with Arsenal's defenders, and I think we'll see more when we get into the, we get over onto the continent with AC Milan. Martinelli, again, scoring another goal. But again, it was poor defending from Man City, so maybe this is just something within the game. De Bruyne then playing it to Bernardo and Foden, chipping it over the top for Grealish. Ben White, again, the defending. Tomiyasu, Ben White, it's just dreadful. The fact that Haaland was allowed to volley that ball unchallenged. De Bruyne again down the left-hand side to Cancelo. Look how much space he has. We're supposed to have 2 midfielders. We're supposed to have a ball-winning midfielder there who should be putting that tackle in. Instead, he's got acres of space and puts it into the top corner. This was a horror show. Poor passing there again from Thomas Partey, played De Bruyne in. No game awareness was the biggest problem I think I found with this tactic. And if you look, I said at the start of this episode that the long ball over the top would cause problems for this tactic. And you can see it time and time again that City are playing that long direct pass over the top of the back line, and it's constantly catching the team out. Now, obviously, because this was simulated, I couldn't change anything. To keep the tactic as fair as possible, I wouldn't have changed anything anyway. However, if you are managing with this tactic and you are wanting to play this way, you need to adjust that back line, especially I think when you've got a back line like Arsenal's, which isn't very quick. You'd probably get away with it with City's and probably Liverpool's. But, it was a disaster, this game, from start to finish. Grealish there beats his man far too easily. Again, rolls it across the box to Gundogan. There's no defenders anywhere close, and it was a real horror show. And so there you have it. That was the standout game from the season with Arsenal. We're now going to fly over to Italy. We're going to take in some pizza, and we're going to go to the San Siro as we do our second simulation with this tactic and see if we can get to the end of the season. That's 4 seasons on the bounce now in these tactics testers. We've been sacked. Something's got to change. Let's see how we get on. All right, then. So the second season is in the bag. Let's find out exactly how we got on. Now, we finished 4th place. Unfortunately, we were a massive 15 points behind our city rivals and stadium rivals, Inter Milan, who won the league. They were phenomenal all season, I must admit. However, we did have the highest scorer in the league, Oliver Giroud. He also had the most man of the matches over the course of the season with 14. And he had an average rating of 7.6 out of 10, which is pretty darn good. In terms of the rest of the team, then, let's have a look. If we pick the best 11 from the season, let's have a look at what happened. So, Oliver Giroud actually scored 60 goals. 60 goals in all competitions over the course of the season. He registered 0 assists, but I don't care because he scored 60 goals. Rafael Leao, who was playing on the left wing, got 14 assists and 9 goals. And Charles de Ketelaere got 14 goals and 2 assists. I would like to see my attacking midfielders getting more assists. I think that is really important. But Theo Hernandez at left back registered 11 assists over the course of the season. Now, there was only, apart from the 2 mentioned, one other player who got into double figures this season, and that was Junior Messias. He got 10 goals and 14 assists. So this tactic so far has shown me one thing. It scores goals. What it does show me, though, if I look at the goalkeeper, Mike Mannion, he conceded 67 goals in all competitions. That tells me it is not good enough defensively to survive, or to succeed. But I could be wrong. We've still got the Dortmund, the Dortmund season to go. If we have a quick look at the competitions, then let's see how we got on. So obviously 4th in the league, knocked out in the round of 16 by Barcelona in the Champions League. We finished runner-up in the Coppa Italia final. But we did win the Coca-Cola Super Cup, which is awesome. And if you've seen the video I did previously, you'll know that doesn't always go that well. So that is the season in Italy done and dusted. Now we're going to fly over to Germany and take over at Dortmund and see just how well we can do in the Bundesliga. All right then, so the Dortmund save is now in the bag. Let's see how we got on. So we finished 3rd, which is absolutely brilliant with Borussia Dortmund because we normally really struggle. 34 games, 22 wins, 3 draws and 9 defeats. If we turn some of those defeats into draws, we probably could have got Leipzig in 2nd as we were only 8 points behind them, but we did finish 9 behind Bayern Munich. What a run of form they had to finish the season. 5 wins on the bounce. Ademi was our top scorer in the league with 25 goals. He was also got the most man of the matches in the league. And Marco Reus got 11 assists. Let's have a look at the rest of the squad. So in all competitions, Karim Ademi got 36 goals. Marco Reus 13 goals and 14 assists. And he is leaving. Where is he going? Paris Saint-Germain. Torgan Hazard, 3 goals, 9 assists. Giovanni Reina, 5 goals, 6 assists. And in midfield, also chipping in, Jude Bellingham, 5 goals and 7 assists. No one else really got going all season. Now, in terms of the competitions, we came runner-up in the DFB Pokal. We lost to Bayern Munich. We didn't get even a point off Bayern Munich all season. We played them 3 times, twice in the league and obviously the cup final, and we didn't get anything. We actually conceded 14 goals against them over the 3 games and scored 3. So, that is pretty embarrassing. And we got knocked out of the Champions League in the round of 16. Let's have a quick look at the data hub on our most successful season then. So expected goals per game, we were miles ahead of the league, and goals per game, we were miles ahead as well. Also in terms of shots. So absolutely flying on the attacking front, as I said in the AC Milan save. In terms of defensively, we were still quite leaky. 58 goals conceded in all competitions by Gregor Kobel, but it's not dreadful. So that gives us, let's find out, how many points did we get there? Let's pop it in the league table. So we got 69 points here. That gives us a grand total of 201 points with the Klopp's 4-2-3-1 tactic. Not bad at all. Puts it in 3rd place at the moment. And like I said in our last video, absolutely miles ahead of NDF's Heat's 4-2-4 unbeaten one, which got just 83, which we won't talk about that one. So a really good tactic. If you want to download it, the link is in the description below. Please feel free to do so. I'll see you all in the next one, where we'll be looking at Julian Nagelsmann's tactic and seeing if we can get a positive result on that. And I've also got a Phil Parkinson tactic video coming out, which is my tactic based on how Wrexham play, and it's the one I use in all of my experiments. I'll see you all soon. Have a good day.